So, for those who don't know me, my name is Shantae Wardlaw. I had the vertical sleeve gastrectomy surgery March 5th of 2019. So it's been a little bit over a year. So I want to tell you guys about my experience and having BSG, and maybe I can help you make your decision on whether you want to get the bariatric surgery or not. I'm no doctor, I'm no nutritionist. I'm strictly just telling you about my experience and what I went through as a BSG patient. So the first month to the first 1 month to 3 months, I would say it was very, very difficult only because it was still like a mental game, as far as not being able to eat anything. Because like the first month to 3 months, I definitely was drinking, like I tried to drink mostly Gatorade Zeros and water, and it was mostly fluids. I couldn't have any thick liquids, like I couldn't have any like oatmeal. I couldn't have any grits. I literally had to have like thin liquids. Could be no course to it, no thickness to it. So it was really difficult, like the first month or three. However, like anywhere between 4 to 6 months, it did get a little easier, only because I was not hungry and I did not really have any cravings. So that made it really easy because I didn't have any cravings or anything. So it definitely made it okay. The first month to 6 months is definitely when I seen most of my weight loss. I think I lost about let me look at my notes here, guys. The first month to 6 months, that's when majority of my weight came off after BSG. I lost 78 pounds. I lost 101 pounds in total with BSG, and I lost 40 pounds alone when I was going through the 6 month process with the insurance company. I did lose 40 pounds without the BSG, just strictly dieting and incorporating exercise. So the first 1 month through 6 months is when you see most of your weight drop. It definitely gets harder after month 7 because your cravings are slowly coming back up. You're getting hungry again. Different foods sound better to you. You want to try different things, and then when you finally get a piece of food, obviously, you go months without eating. When you finally get something to eat physically, you're going to want to try more stuff and see what you can and cannot eat. So I would say it does get easier around month 7, but it's still very difficult because you cannot eat the same amount of foods. Like if you were eating this much, you can only eat. If you were eating this much, you can only eat like maybe a cup of food now. And that's maybe like, because I know like the first 1 through 6 months, I was only able to eat maybe a half cup of food in one sitting. But after about the 8 month, I was able to eat a cup of food in one sitting. So that was pretty difficult, to have to get used to the new normal. And then I think it had a lot to do with like my stomach still healing. Between the first and the 8th month, my stomach was definitely still healing. Um, I was more motivated and determined to lose the weight. Obviously, when you're still and not at your goal weight, you're going to be motivated and determined to get down to your goal weight. So I feel like my inspiration was getting down to my goal weight. So then like the 8 months, I'm sorry guys, I'm looking here at my notes. The 8 months, my cravings definitely came back for sweets. Like it's not really like, it's more of a mental thing. It's all in your head and what I'm used to being obese and eating whatever I want, whenever I want it, however I want it, in whatever portion size I want it. So it's definitely a game. It's definitely like a mental game, and it gets hard because after about 8 months, you want the stuff that you're used to eating back. You want to eat chips. You want to eat your honey buns you were eating. You want your hot Cheetos. You want your cookies. And I feel like a little lost because I did gain a few pounds. And it's common. It kind of makes me sad because I feel like if I gained any weight, it made me sad because I came this far. I did get down to my goal weight of 160 from 300 pounds. I got all the way down to 150 pounds, but I gained a few pounds. So you deciding on getting BSG surgery, just know your weight is going to up and down, up and down, up and down. It's going to stay stagnant for a while. So it's definitely a mental game, and don't get on the scale that often. Like don't find yourself getting on the scale every day or every other day. In the beginning, you're going to see the weight drop. You're going to see the weight drop. You're going to see the weight drop. And this is, for me, it was month 1 through 6. Just about every day I got on the scale, whether it was a pound or a half a pound, or whether I weighed my inches, it went down every single day. And it got me so excited. But now being a year out, it's literally, my weight is stagnant. It plateaus. It's up. It's down. It stabilizes. Then it goes 5 pounds up, and then it goes 5 pounds down. And sometimes when it goes 5 pounds up, it literally messes with my head, and sometimes it put me in a depression. So I would not say, especially like after the 8th month, don't get on the scale every day, because sometimes the numbers. I'm not gonna say the numbers are inaccurate, but the numbers aren't everything. What you need to do is get you a belt to weigh your inches around your waist, around your arms and stuff, because a lot of times we're gaining muscle. So a lot of times it's not you gaining weight, it's strictly you gaining muscle. But however, in our minds, if we're not weighing our inches, if we're just weighing our, our body weight, then we're not going to be able to see the inches that we're losing. So we're going to just think that we're gaining, fat and not muscle. So you definitely want to invest in a measure tape, for you, but they could, definitely invest in one of those. Also, after a year out, I definitely got comfortable. I definitely got comfortable. Once I hit my goal weight, I started to pick up the chips and stuff. So that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to, it's very tempting to go back to your old eating habits. So if you're considering BSG, just know, like, sometimes it's a mental game, so you just don't want to buy stuff. You don't want to buy chips. You don't want to buy cookies. You don't want to buy things that are going to be tempting to you. And I know sometimes we have kids and it's hard, but I would advise you just to literally stay out of the kitchen if that's like your downfall. If sweets are your downfall, just try to stay out of the kitchen. Just try not to buy this stuff. I know easier said than done, but it's literally what you're going to have to do in order not to gain weight. Because when I tell you that you can gain 10 pounds in a week like that, and you can lose it just as fast after BSG, but when you start picking up that food, it's going to be very hard to put it down. Not to mention macaroni. I love macaroni. I was able to eat a cup of macaroni. And that's the first time after I haven't had any macaroni in a year that I ate macaroni. Now I just opened up a can of worms. So now I have to be able to put the macaroni down, just not be around it, because honestly, I will get so upset if I cannot have the foods that I want being a year out. So that's definitely the hard part after having BSGs. You want something so bad, but if you just open up the can of worms, sometimes you can't close it. So it's better to just not pick it up after BSG. So I definitely, like, in the beginning of BSG, I didn't personally throw up. I didn't personally feel sick. Nausea, I did get a lot of that. But the medication that my doctor gave me for nausea did help out a lot. But I would literally say just stay away from. Only time I really got cramping in the stomach and nausea is if I ate something with too much sugar. Like if something had more than 7 grams of sugar, I was so nauseated. It was so bad. Fried foods, if I ate anything with grease, my stomach would hurt. And I did that one time after surgery, and I was like, never again, because it was like the worst pain ever. I did not necessarily throw up. No, I take that back. I did throw up. You will throw up. If you consume too much sugar, you will throw up, especially from month 1 through 6. Now, if you slowly incorporate sugar back into your diet, which I would not advise, but if you do, just be on the lookout for those headaches. I mean, the headaches are throbbing. Being nauseous is very common after you eat stuff that's too sweet. So if you don't feel like you can put all the sweets down, and you don't feel like you can leave fried food alone for at least 6 months, I just would not advise getting the surgery, because you're going to try to do it and you're going to feel like crap for a long time. It lasts hours. Like when I get that nauseous feeling, I feel like crap for hours after I eat it. So if you're not ready to, put that burger with the bun and the grease that's fried down, I would not advise getting it. You have to literally mentally prepare yourself for this, because it's not a game. You're going to have to cut a lot of stuff out. And I'm not going to say you're going to have to cut it out forever, because obviously being a year out, I'm able to eat whatever I want to eat. But the first 6 months, guys, when I tell you that it's definitely difficult, because you have to leave that stuff alone. You can't eat it if you want to, basically. And I don't, and I know for a minute I was very depressed and I felt down because I could not eat the same foods. So just be ready for that. Just be ready for to put the plate down, to put that fried food down, to put the junk down, to eat in smaller portions. Be ready to work out at least a few times a week if you want to maintain your weight. So basically, if you're considering BSG, I would say go for it. It's so worth it. I would not take it back. I would not regret it. I would have done things a little different just because I did gain a few pounds after after a year when I picked the cookies and chips back up. But if you do it in moderation. I'm not going to say cut it out because you don't. When you're maintaining your weight, sometimes you have to incorporate some things into your diet. Not necessarily bad, but you have to increase your food in order to maintain your weight after a year if you don't want to lose, because you can still lose weight, obviously. So if you're considering PSG, I would say go for it. I would just say mentally prepare yourself before you actually have the surgery. Like the first 6 months when you have to go to your nutritionist, or 3 months or however long, before you get your surgery, I would literally prepare myself. I would literally take the chips and the cookies and the greasy foods and take that out of my diet just to prepare myself, mentally prepare myself for when I have the surgery for your new lifestyle. You're going to have to make that your normal before you even have the surgery. Because if not, you're not going to be successful. You're going to fail, because if you eat fried food and then you eat cookies up until the day you have surgery and then you have to put it down for the next 6 months, you're going to lose your shit and you're going to want to pick that back up after 6 months. So my advice would just be to mentally prepare yourself, physically prepare yourself for the surgery before getting the surgery. So I really hope that helped you determine whether you want to get BSG surgery or not. Those are just my advice, my experience. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please comment down below or check in my inbox. I'm happy to answer any questions about BSG surgery. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Let people know what I'm doing on this channel that can help others lose weight and motivate people to be successful even if you had the bariatric surgery. So thanks for watching.